Hi, it's Kylie, the jellyfish, and today's going to be a plug collection video. That was the worst intro ever. Okay, today, why am I moving away? Swirly chair, fail. Okay, so today's video is a plug collection of my very own. I'm gonna talk about all of the plugs that I've had, all of my experiences with them, where I got them, this, that, whatever. I've made my own personal plug chart. So this right here, I mean, you can look them up anywhere. They're also like all over different plug sites, like Plug Your Holes has their own sizing chart. Something unique about mine is I actually poked every hole into them with the size that I had. I'm currently at 1/2 inch. I think that's pretty much, it was my goal size for a pretty long time. So I think I'm gonna stay here forever, but if I were to stretch up again, you know, I might, who knows, I change my mind all the time about it, but I've never ever regretted stretching my ears. Like, I've always been like, I've never ever wished I didn't have stretched ears after stretching my ears. Like, I've never wished I had a smaller size, any of that. I've only ever either wanted to go bigger or loved the size I was at. So if I were to stretch up more, I'd probably go to, my limit would probably be like 20 millimeters, or yeah, in between like 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch. So like just a few more millimeters. And I probably, if I were to stretch that, I probably wouldn't stretch that until like college or something. But honestly, like, I'm really happy with the size. I have here all of them. These aren't any of my current size. All of my current size are in this one right here. I've given a lot of plugs to friends of mine that have stretched, especially like the smaller sizes, like those ones, like the tapers and everything. I've given those to friends that wanted to stretch their ears. And I've also lost a few. It's difficult. It's difficult to take off. What's up? So I only have one plug of this because this was a long time ago. This was 8th grade, actually. They are black with blue metallic splatters on them. I got them in a pack of these two little plugs and tapers, but I think I gave the tapers to my friend. My next size, which was 12 gauge. So yeah, these right here, they're black. They're just black acrylic. The other ones were acrylic too, by the way. Probably like 2 weeks ago, I gave the tapers of these to my friend Tommy. If you guys know him, Tommy Got Magic. By the way, like, most of these that I was stretching with were from Hot Topic or Spencer. So now here's my 10 gauge collection. So I have these green acrylic tapers. Yeah, so these are like kind of like an animal print, almost like just a spotty print. There was not plugs with these. These are just straight up tapers that I got. These are my 10 gauge spirals. I call them spirals because they are hangers. Purple acrylic. I kind of hate the way spirals are in my ears because putting them in, like, they always just get stuck on my hair. I never liked hoops when I had earrings either, so I never wore that because, like, it would always just kind of get, like, it's a hook, like, it would just get stuck in my hair. And then every time I would hug one of my friends, like, especially with like curly hair, or I have a friend with like dreads, and every time I hugged him, they would get caught on his dreads and yank, and we would be like, ah. My little, I think these are, I don't know, stainless something metal, okay. They purple tinted. You can see straight through them, yeah. Tunnels. So this was my very first pair of tunnels. Took me a while to get them in because they are double flared, which means they're like that, like they're bigger on both ends. You can see that. Now, the only size like I actually did skip was 8 gauge. I don't know why, I think the reason is because I liked these plugs and tapers. Red plaid acrylic. And these were not in the 8 gauge size, they were in the 6 gauge size, which is the next size down. So I guess, yeah, that's why. And I did stretch carefully because I was at 10 gauge for a while, which also explains why I had 3 pairs of jewelry for them. So yeah, I guess my ears were, like, they did not hurt when I stretched them to this size. They barely hurt at all. Okay, next size down is 4 gauge, black and pink stars on them. These were the tapers. Like pink acrylic, or it doesn't even seem like acrylic, it's just straight up plastic. I don't know. It just feels like an even cheaper material than acrylic, so like a different plastic. I don't know. I didn't really have trouble with the material though, but it's just a black inlay on it. Here's my 2 gauge. I was at this size for a pretty long time too. Tapers, they are white, like kind of a pearly white acrylic with, okay, these splatters all over it, they used to be like metallic rainbow, but they're not rainbow anymore. They kind of tinted to just straight up black, which is weird. Also, then these are my acrylic black tunnels that are in 2 gauge. These are my spirals that I was talking about. They're 2 gauge. Also annoying. These are the first actual good material plugs that I ever got, and these are from UK Custom Plugs. They are moonstone opalite glass, basically. I thought I ordered them in 0 gauge, but they kind of like didn't fit in my ears, to be honest. They were just really small, so I kind of always considered them 2 gauge because the flare is not that big. It's not that big of a difference of the flare, and it's barely bigger than, I swear I remember buying these in 0 gauge, but they like ended up 2 gauge. I never talked about it with the company because I still wore them for a while, but it was alright. I mean, whatever. I moved on to my 0 gauge collection. My first pair of 0 gauge anything was this these acrylic clear from Plug Your Holes. I got them at the tent at Warped Tour. We loved these. These are like the best. They looked so cool in my ears. And at this size, I kind of stopped wearing them as jewelry because as they get bigger, they get heavier, and so tapers can cause uneven distribution of weight in your ears, and apparently it can make your plugs sit in your ears weird. I never had an issue with that whatsoever, but I mean, I'm gonna say it because people are gonna yell at me if I don't, that tapers are not meant for jewelry. They're meant for stretching, but I don't even think that anymore like they should be used for stretching, because once you're able to wear sizes big enough to wear like stone plugs and stuff, you should, and double flared, you should be able to wear them for long enough that your ears will naturally stretch to the next size. Naturally, with time, with good material plugs, and it's just, there's a lot more information I could talk about it, but that's a different video. So along with these, at the Warped Tour venue, I got 0 gauge silicone tunnels that were white, and they looked like this. This is actually 1/2 inch, but I got white ones that were 0 gauge, and I lost them now. I mean, I wore them for a very long time, but once I stretched up to the next size, I lost them at some mall, I think. Yeah, I ordered these online because when I bought the 2 pairs from their Warped Tour tent, I got a coupon for a free pair of plugs with, they were like this. You could choose any color, but you could also choose from a selection of like 5 different engraved images, so I chose the skull. It took me forever to get them to fit in my ears though. They're shaped like an hourglass. Their flares are like 3 millimeters at least, I would say. They're very big. Silicone tunnels. These are what some companies call ear skins. I think I got these all at like Hot Topic or Spencer's though. I never had issues with silicone, to be honest. A lot of other people would say like silicone made my ears feel gross, they made them like, it would make their ears smell bad, but I never had these issues because I would also like always clean my ears like every time I was in the shower and stuff. So I kept my ears clean, I kept them lubricated, I kept them healthy. I never had issues. But yeah, so this one is just like kind of white, somewhat clear. This one is black with some weird metallic other colors in it, and this one is kind of a tealish color. So these are green agate stone plugs. I love agate because it has a really high luster and it's really smooth. These are flawless, they're perfect, amazing plugs. I popped them right in, they're gorgeous. Love them, absolutely love them. So yeah, these are from Plug Your Holes. I got these. They're 0. Next size is 00, which is 10 millimeters, which is 3/8 of an inch. So these are my white acrylic tapers, and I got these from my friend. She gave them to me. She hadn't opened them yet. She never used them because she also had a pair that was glow in the dark. I mean, no, these plugs go along with them. They're white. I actually taped them up with a bondage tape from Spencer's. The reason I used bondage tape is because it's safe for your skin. It's actually meant for your skin. It's self-adhesive, which means it doesn't have any kind of stickiness or adhesive on it, because that can sometimes really mess up your ears. So using something that is self-adhesive, that only sticks to itself, and it's safe for your skin, like literally meant for your skin, that's the best thing you can ever use in your ears. So yeah, I would recommend bondage tape for taping up. So these two are some tunnels that I got at Hot Topic. These are both silicone ear skins. This one is more of like a teal, bluish teal color. These are like a neon lime green color. Yeah. So those are 00. These are Moon Devite stone plugs from Plug Your Holes. I really love Plug Your Holes, if you can tell. I love these a lot. They look kind of like little moons. I'll show you the other one. Moons, but they're like purple moons. Pinkish, but I mean they're purple, and like a lot of people confuse them with amethyst. But see, the thing is, amethyst is usually a little bit darker, and this has more of a marbled texture than these. Kind of have more of a streaky, flaky texture than these. Yeah. I don't have any 11mm, which is 7/16. I don't have any 11mm plugs because those I used these to stretch up straight 00 gauge to 12mm, so that's why. But yeah, so now I will go on to my 12mm collection. I'll start off with these clear acrylic tapers that I really love. I did not use these to stretch my ears. I have them for the purposes of whenever like I might have to take my earrings out for my plugs for a while, for whatever reason, like cheerleading or another sport that I might have to take them out for. My ears would technically still be at this size, but just kind of not really stretching right. Like they're not exactly just really fitting over the plug, so my lobes would be kind of like, they would have to kind of stretch a little bit more. So I lube them up with some ear butter from Plug Your Hole, or jojoba oil to get them through nice and good, and then kind of leave these in for maybe an hour or a little bit longer if I had to kind of get them right back up to the size that they were before. They are not for stretching. I just got them because I think that any size you should, I think like plugs are pretty good to just kind of wedge open your ears after not really been wearing the plugs for a while. That does not mean you were not at that size still. It just means that they're kind of not really stretching the way they would have a few hours ago if you kept your plugs in. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, by the way, all of my 12mm plugs, all of them are from Plug Your Holes. So these are my silicone, not silicone, my acrylic clear tapers. These are my white silicone tunnels. These are black steel tunnels. Opalite moonstone plugs. These are Sono wood plugs. Amethyst stone rose engraved 12mm plugs. So I have these in right now. These are yeah, rose, but I flipped it around on this side just to show you how yeah, the detail is on this side. But I wanted to show you that on the days you're feeling less feminine, or the days that you kind of want to just like have a plain look on your ears because everything else is going on with your face and you don't want to draw that attention away from one area or something like that, you can totally just flip them and you'll have a solid flat plug. These are amethyst. Yeah, so I love the idea that you can do that. So yeah, those are all of my plugs, my entire plug collection right there. Hope you enjoyed. I do plan to expand my collection, so I will probably do an update on my collection. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm pretty good with giving like stretching advice. I'll probably make a whole other video about stretching and how like to stretch safely and my advice with it, my experience with it, all of that. If I don't yet, or you're really dying to know something specific, comment below so that I could maybe help you out with any issues you're having with your ears. There's a lot of other sources. Like Plug Your Holes has a blog on their website that gives you kind of some like stretching advice or like other advice on stretching your ears or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of sources, but I guess like I'm pretty good and I really do enjoy giving advice about plugs, stretching, all of that stuff, materials, anything you want to know, like just comment below and I'll answer you as quick as I can about it. You could also, in the description, there will be a link that's my ask box or my message box, something like that. It goes straight to my Tumblr, but you can anonymously, or if you have an account, you can do it non-anonymously and message me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Stay epic. Bye.